Hey guys, Sauce here. This is the fourth attempt actually at this video. Really want to do something that at least the production quality is halfway decent. I know, that's crazy. You know what I always say, if you have to put effort in, is it really worth it? So here's the thing. First time I actually did it perfectly, but the video messed up, so I didn't record it properly. Second time, frame issues. Third time, had a bit of problem with the design. I have to modify it a bit, and so because of that, I'm actually doing the whole thing again for the fourth time. I waited till just morning, so I'm hoping I can at least get started on the second phase of this before nighttime hits. If it does, then we're going to probably cut this into two parts. If it doesn't, I'm hoping to do it in one part. Regardless, I might still do two parts. We'll see what it looks like at the end of this, how much time I put into it. So first of all, for this design, you want to have something preferably near a prefab. That way you can start off in the prefab. One we have here is unfortunately a graveyard. It's a terrible fucking choice. In a pinch, I guess it would work. I wouldn't prefer it. I like to have some kind of house. My favorite is the house that has the forge already in it. That, in my opinion, is the best house you can start off with because you're already able to start smelting metal, get metal tools. Gives you a jump start towards mid-game. But regardless, this is the design we have in this particular seed here, so we're going to go with it. So you got a prefab nearby, and we've got a very large body of water. The larger the body of the water, the better. Size does matter. I don't care what anyone says to you. You can't get to London in a rowboat, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to find a good spot near this prefab, preferably not overly close. I like to build near the plains biomes, and the reason is because you get lots of grass, and traditionally if the plains biome runs all the way up to the water like this, you get grass near the water, which can help mask the hole. That's what she said. Now, it also drops off pretty quickly. You can see it's only got about one or two spots where it's actually at, ankle level water, and then boom, you're already into the water like this, which is preferable. We want to kind of line ourselves up with towards the deepest part here, so I'm thinking somewhere in that direction over there. So now we've lined up there. We're going to come up here onto the land, and we're going to start the hole. Now, when you do this, as I always say, you're going to want to probably do it with shovels and pickaxes. Preferably if you have steel, iron if you don't, but at least you want to be close to purple before you start something like this because of how much digging and effort is involved in it. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and dig straight down to bedrock. I've got an auger. I get to cheat a little bit. Again, I wouldn't suggest this. Loud auger brings in a lot of players, a lot of zombies. That's a problem. So, oh, and by the way, you want to make sure you're about 2 blocks away from water. As you can see here, I just guessed at it, and we are, well, we're about 1 block, but that's okay. Back on our hole, and we are going to dig straight to bedrock. Before you start this, can never stress this enough, have wood frames with you. You're not going to be in God mode like me, which is going to make it impossible to get out of this hole unless you got some way to get out. You might have to dig back out. That's embarrassing and completely degrades the quality. So first of all, let's dig straight down. Looks like we found some ore on the way down, which is very nifty. You can come back and mine that later. And you're going to want to frame out. I'm going to fly out because I'm cheating. I want to use as little time as possible. So that's the way for the water. And we are going to go back in the hole from bedrock. We again know the water is that way. Also, you can look at the map. That helps. We're going to frame ourselves here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10 up from bedrock is good. You're still fairly deep. Again, check to make sure we're facing water. Then you're going to start digging an entranceway. I do 10 because it's an easy number to remember. If you use that as a good rule of thumb, you're always going to be below the water, but you're going to still be fairly deep. I've never seen a lake that was so deep it was less than, or even close to, 10 above bedrock. Okay, we want to go even farther. Digging a happy little tunnel here. Now, generally when I build this, I go far deeper for the tunnel. We're talking 50, 60 blocks in. 50, 60 voxels. 50, 60 frames if you want to use that as a unit of measurement. But again, for this, we're just looking to at least get it started. So right about here is probably going to be enough. Then we're going to come back to roughly what's the entranceway. We're going to go with wood frames here. Entrance, step, door. Okay. Dig out a little bit. And then hopefully for this you either have reinforced concrete or steel. If not, oh well. Though to be honest with you, if you don't have those two things, you're not going to be very difficult to raid. And obviously this base design is to try and prevent that now. Our wood frames, we get in here. It's very key that when you put this door in, it's not facing this way, it's not like this. You want to have that square behind the door, like so. And you'll understand why here in just a moment. So we've got a door in place, got a little bit of a gap up here. Let's go ahead and fill that in. And we are good now. Now also what you're going to want to do, you can leave the wood frames there and then dig yourself a basement if you'd like to. You can create a little bit of an air pocket in here when you go through that door. You'll understand again the air pocket here in a moment. But what I would suggest doing is this. Fill that hole in. Eventually completely encase this entire little area here in steel. That way it's that much harder to break in. So again, now what you're going to do is you're going to frame yourself up and out. Again, get your mark for where the water's at. It's that way. You should be on frames when you do this, so I'm going to be as well. Just to make sure you're getting the proper idea. Frame 100% out. And if you need to practice this build and create it a couple times to get the hang of it, I would suggest it would help. Right, maybe even watch the video while you're doing it if you need to stop and pause and stuff like that. Okay, so we're about even with, now we're about even, so we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then what you're going to want to do is, if you've been digging sand, you can create sand. And you're going to want to make 2 of them. Now I can actually just do this and cheat again. Okay, you're going to want to fill that back in. 1, 2. Obviously we're encased here. Get your shovel ready. Not facing the right way. Basically facing the right way. And we're going to dig straight. Make sure you have flashlight so you can see what you're doing. Okay. Dig straight. Just a 2 high tunnel. In a little bit. And then start to dig up. And there's water, which is what we want. Now I'll come back out of here. As you can see, it's right there next to the edge. I probably should have dug it out a little bit farther, so maybe when you do this, dig a little bit farther out again. But as you can see, don't see where really the hole is at anymore, do we? That's what we're going for. It kind of blends in a little bit. Where's the hole at? Oh my god, it's not there. And the hole's already started to fill in itself, so it's not exposed. That's for now. So we're going to go back in here, crouch, hold shift. Headlamp on. Okay? You're going to want to wait till you're right on top of this frame, angle yourself, and you're going to slowly descend in every time you touch a frame. Patient is key. Twist a little bit, hold shift, going down, air pocket, keep going down, air pocket. That last frame air pocket. Now, as you can see, we're deep in here decently. Might be an air pocket up here if we go to the right angle. That is not ideal. We'll have to correct that here in just a moment. There goes the water. See? You just gotta wait for it to come in. There it is. Okay. Now, the point of having that door turned around the way it was is that when you get over here and you're crouched, there's no air pockets. The idea is that when they come down here to try to break through your front door, if someone were to find the base, they're not going to be able to sit here for very long before they're drowning. Open this door. And we've got a little bit of water in here, don't we? That's what you need to have a bucket for. We left click. Just keep looking around and keep left clicking. It's not actually picking up the water, but it is dispersing it. There we go, see? That's one way to do it. Honestly, fastest way in my opinion. Wood frames, can't go wrong with them. Start next to the door. No matter what you do, as the door opens and closes, more than likely some water is going to get through because it's going to glitch through. But otherwise, you have a completely dry hallway, and your base is secure. Going out, it's a bit of a trick. You're going to close this, shift the whole way, go up, spin slightly, and go up. And you can see there's little air pockets. The water hasn't come all the way down yet. So we're going to have to find a way to frame out of here. Crouch a little bit. Got a frame below us. There it goes. Now the water's starting to come down. We're going to go back up and out. Another bit of an air pocket. Not a problem. Good frame. Crouch. Okay. Go back and in. Up and out. And the reason is because the water is coming in from the lake, that what's jetting it is slowly going away because it's being poured into the bottom. So now that we're up here, we can see that it's an issue. Grab water from a random location. There we go. Start pouring it down in. You can find it from a random spot. Oh, keep an eye on the bucket. If it doesn't actually empty, it's because it's not properly. There we go. Oh, it still didn't empty. That time it did. Got some more water. Fill it in there. Fill it in there. Fill it in there. It's going to probably take a little bit. If you're playing with friends, you want to make sure at least one or two people stay out of the hole. Keep as few people in the hole as possible, because if anything goes wrong, like with the frame thing you see me do a moment ago, if there was someone above, they could have been pouring down water the entire time. And you never would have had the gap or the air pockets, because you don't want to have air pockets in this. What is that? It's a bear. Bear swimming around in the water. Come back over here. Some more water in. As you can see, it's starting to fill up a bit. Not quite perfect, so we need to circle around the hole a bit until we get the right angle to pour more water in. And you just want to spam right click. Oh, it didn't actually do it. Or did it? Can't even find the hole that I just made. See that? Coming at the right angle, you might be able to see it. There it is right there. But as you can see, just looking at the water, can't exactly see it. There it is. Now we're going to go back inside. Hold crouch, or hit crouch rather, and hold shift. And lamp on. I also suggest when you do this, don't turn your headlamp until you're all the way into the back of the tunnel. Don't draw any more attention than you need. You're going to hold shift the whole way down. See, my oxygen is slowly dropping. Might take a little bit of damage doing this. Hopefully you get the timing down to where you don't. I am drowning. Open the door. There we go. Shift out. If you feel like you don't like taking that damage, just a little bit at the bottom, instead of going 10 up, go 15. Probably went with that, maybe even 20. But again, the higher you go, the easier it will be to get to the base because it's not as deep. The point is, the depth is very important. The fact you're 10 frames up also means if they go straight to bedrock and dig straight towards your base, if your base isn't built down that low, they're not going to hit it. They're going to dig right below it. So they're going to be digging for nothing. You can put a basement in if you like, but I would put it in as far away from the beach as possible. Okay, so that's phase 1. And I think I'm going to cut this into 2 parts. So I'm going to go ahead and probably end this cut here. And then we'll go ahead and start part 2, which you go, obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see no lapse in time. But if you're watching it live, we're going to start in just a moment.